Okay, gamers and gamettes, what is going on? My name is Tanek127 and welcome back to another Tower of Fantasy video. And like I tell you guys in every Tower of Fantasy video, baby, thank you all so much for the love and support. If you are new here, smash that subscribe button, subscribe to the channel, ring that bell, that little bell right next to it, and set the notifications on so that way you never miss an upload. And if you've been around for a while, like the video, share it with a friend. If it don't help you, it might help them, and if it doesn't even help them, it'll help me get recognized in the YouTube algorithm, and I would appreciate it so much. Thank you guys all so much. But what is going on? Welcome back. My name is Tanek127, the console MMO enthusiast, baby, and I'm hyped today. Nah, I'm literally hyped. I literally drank coffee before making this video, and I got a good topic. I got a nice one I want to talk about today when it comes to Tower of Fantasy, and I'm just going to give my opinion and throw everything out there. You guys let me know how you're feeling in the comments below, but make sure your voices are known in this video, because we're sending this one to the devs. We're putting this one in the Discord. We're tagging every Perfect World and Tower of Fantasy account in today's video, and that's because as a console MMO enthusiast, I look out for all consoles, baby. I'm not just PlayStation. I'm not just Xbox. I'm not just Nintendo. I look out for all of us. And the thing I want to know is what y'all are thinking is, should Tower of Fantasy come to Xbox? Baby. Should it? For starters, hell yeah it should, man. Alright, it's an MMO. The more players, the merrier, baby. The fact that, this game's even on console right now still surprised me, because I don't know if you guys remember, especially those who've been around my channel for a while, not just you guys who have recently come for Tower of Fantasy, but I made a video on Tower of Fantasy coming to console a year ago, and it was a rumor for a while, and then the rumor just died, and I had completely lost hope on it, and then next thing we know, at one of PlayStation showcases, we get the Tower of Fantasy PS4 and PS5 trailer. And I'm not going to lie, man, that was such a good feeling. That was such a great feeling. I was hyped. I was like, yes, something me and the community wanted for a long time has been, is coming true and all that stuff. And, it's been an up and down roller coaster, because right after that hype, the Tower of Fantasy drama started. Everybody was upset about the cross-play and the cross-progression and all that stuff. And then a bunch of, creators got involved in everything. It was an up and down road with this, especially for me, because I'm just like, damn, man, there are people coming to my videos now criticizing, the crossplay and everything. I'm just hyped to be able to play the game, baby. That's all I was excited for, just, to be able to play it. Now, I have a gaming PC, don't get me wrong, but I'm a console guy. And that's just, what it is. But should Tower of Fantasy come to Xbox? Absolutely. And, I think the Xbox Series X and S consoles only. I'm not going to say bring it to Xbox One. I know. There are people out there still on last gen. There are people who can't afford next gen consoles, and I get it. But if you're especially if you're an Xbox fan, I give you a little bit less of an excuse, because the Xbox Series S is out there. All right, that is the most low-priced next gen console out there, and you can even buy those used right now for cheaper than a PS4 Pro. A PS4 Pro will still naturally run you $350 or $400 if you buy one brand new or used from like a GameStop or something like that. You can get an Xbox Series S for $279 right off the Microsoft Store, a refurbished one. And if you want to go brand new, it's $300. If you want to get the carbon, it's $350. By the way, if you want to buy a next-gen console, I have links to all of them down in the description below. You can order straight off Amazon through me, and it will support me here on the channel. So, just a heads up, wanted to throw that little disclaimer in there. That technically doesn't make this video sponsored, but oh well. Alright, but no, seriously, when you look at how things are, right? We just got, the PlayStation version of Tower of Fantasy about a month ago. And all we have is PS4 and PS5. There's no crossplay or cross progression with mobile or PC. How about if mobile and PC are one entity of Tower of Fantasy and console is another? Sure, we don't get crossplay and cross progression with mobile and PC, but how about we get crossplay and cross progression with Xbox? How about, we get crossplay and cross progression with Switch, whether it's, this Switch console or the next Switch that's supposedly rumored or something like that. I'm serious. Like, why leave Tower of Fantasy just on PlayStation? Now, I know there's an exclusivity period. They put a big disclaimer of that on the trailers. But once that exclusivity is over, Perfect World Games, they are free to do whatever they please with their game. And I say, bring it to as many consoles as possible. Now, me personally, I would root for Xbox and Nintendo Switch. There's going to be a lot of people out there who say Switch ain't viable. I'm going to say you're wrong, because guess what? The game runs on mobile. And at the end of the day, despite how outdated the Switch's CPU is now, that Tegra X1 was a beast on the mobile floor 7 or 8 years ago. So I don't want to hear it. All right, and I think the Tegra X1 is more than capable of running Tower of Fantasy, at least, at a solid 30 frames per second, decent experience. But that's just my personal opinion. We're not going to go farther. But should it come on Xbox? Yes. One thing Microsoft has been doing is trying to get themselves more involved with the overseas markets. And there's going to be people who say, and I get people telling me this on Twitter all the time, well, Xbox fans, they don't care about JRPGs. They're not into RPGs. No. Let me tell you something. If you're someone who believes that, right, I encourage you, add me on Xbox and come hang with my little Xbox gang for a day, all right? And I'll show you some passionate RPG, JRPG, MMO, Eastern game lovers and stuff like that. I got all kinds of, people who are into that kind of thing on Xbox. I don't even know where people get that crazy impression from that Xbox players are not into those kind of games. We are. And we and I say we because guess what? I'm one of them. I support the Xbox community and at the end of the day. But it's just, it's wild that people think that. But not only will that be beneficial for the developers, they'll have their game on another platform, but it'll be beneficial to us as players. It's clear that Tower of Fantasy is already doing well on PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5. It's obvious. But because if you go in the game and you queue up for dungeons, you do world bosses and stuff like that. I don't know about y'all, but I have never personally had a problem finding a queue for anything on Tower of Fantasy. Now, I don't have, some PlayStation chart saying how many players are in the game, is the game dying, what it's making, and all. I don't have all that data, man. I just go by what I can see. And every time I queue for a dungeon, it's damn near insta-queue. So that tells me there's people on the game. And this is at all levels. Level 20 dungeons, level 30 dungeons, 40, 50, 60, whatever the current cap is right now. I have no problem queuing for nothing. When I first finally unlocked raids, I got into that straight away. You need 8 players for that, not 4. So, the game is doing well. And I think if they bring it to the Series X and S consoles, as a free-to-play MMO that's already cross-play with a community that's going to be established. Like, imagine if we got an influx of Xbox Series X and S players added to Tower of Fantasy PlayStation a year from now. What if the Tower of Fantasy Twitter account on Twitter, what if it became Tower of Fantasy Console instead of Tower of Fantasy PS? And, it just represented the console community's side of the MMO as a whole. I'm not saying, this will make up for the whole, like cross-play and cross-progression thing that people want from, from mobile and PC. But, this is a good way to show that, hey, they're really serious about this game. And they do want to have a big audience for it on console too. Not only, like I said, not only would it benefit us players, bring more gamers into it, but it'll also show the developers' true intentions. Now, like I said, guys, like I've said before in other videos, in a perfect world, all right, I would love if PC and mobile, PlayStation 4 and 5, Xbox Series X and S, and even though I'm not for the Xbox One being part of it, but Xbox One and Nintendo Switch all being on one giant mega server. Cross-play, cross-progression, all that enabled. But I don't know if it's possible. I'm not a game developer. I can't speak on that. But I would love to see it. But I think at the very least, they could take this console version that's on PlayStation right now and evolve it over time. And that's a move that I really think the Tower of Fantasy developers should make. You guys let me know how y'all are feeling down in the comments below. But anyway, y'all enjoyed today's video? Smash that like button. I will see y'all on the next one. Peace out. Have a good one.